Off me.
Hi, everybody.
All right. Let's see. Uh, Kevin's here and on time. Kevin's been being pretty busy, I think. Lori's going catch chickens. Hello from Leeds, Alabama. Is that Becca?
She's been watching but never commented. Everybody.
Lots of names. So, hey, everybody. There's Ed.
Oh, Alice said it's her birthday.
Missed it.
It's at the
Hey,
bottom.
happy birthday, Alice.
All right. We're going to settle in for a little bit.
Oh. Cowbell Farm says, sorry she missed us Wednesday. That's okay. Lori's still here.
Her chickens ain't perching yet.
Well, I'm glad Lori's still here. Lori, I am trying to talk Zoe into going to the auction. I will be at work, but I'm trying to convince her to go.
And Cassie asked me if I could fly.
I'm not in any danger because Zoe is never going to pull that trailer between Oklahoma and Alabama again, ever. So I'm not in any danger.
Yeah, but Cassie asked me if I could fly, and I told her it would be pretty hard to get me an exotic animal on the flight back home.
Well, just don't bring anything home with you.
But that would defeat the purpose.
No, you're going just to be there and
for
see your friends.
Support.
Yeah, you can help Cassie and Lori pick out stuff.
It's an expensive moral support trip. Do I need a moon spotted buck? Ooh.
I'm not going to answer that because you got Bama already.
We just had the baby.
And we
still don't have a name.
Yeah, the Dolly Walker's baby doesn't have a name, but we're leaving him intact because he's really pretty.
He is identical to her.
Uh-oh, Lori says it's registered. That means you can't afford it.
Jacob asked if Rhett has any homework yet.
Rhett doesn't have any homework yet.
Well, he had to design his monster. There, you go in and you create an avatar that's a monster, and he had to go in and create his today. We did that a while ago.
Charles and Kathy Hobbs said Grandpa Doss had a heart valve replaced.
Oh, goodness.
So we can add him to our prayer list. Special price for you, Zoe. Lori.
I could haul that in the back of my car.
No, you're not hauling an intact buck in your car.
Oh.
No.
I could haul it in that cage thing that we could borrow.
No, let's not. That is, y'all, I'm having a little bit of a time with my cup because Mocha.
With your cup?
You're picking up my cup.
Oh, I was like.
One of y'all remember, Kevin said special pricing means double in Oklahoma.
She'll charge me more thinking I'm not going to know because I ain't from there. She said he is disbutted so he would fit in the car.
Yeah, but he would still smell up the car. Anyway, I've got to put a stick or something on Mocha's horns. One of our girl goats insists on eating the exact same grass on the other side of the fence. And she gets her head stuck. So I'm going to do like Nico did his goat, and I'm going to tape a stick or something across her horn so she can't get her head in there. Most of the time she gets herself out. But every once in a while I have to help her. And today I was helping her, and she jerked about the time I got one horn through, and I'm not so sure she didn't break my wrist.
His wrist has gotten stiff and hurt.
Oh, God.
We've shown her before, I believe, in a video where she has done that, and we will fight with her to get her out and walk
She'll go to the other
away.
side and put her head right back through.
Right, and then she'll pull her head out. She does it every single day.
But most of the time she can get back.
She does, but you worry that she's not going to be able to, and the minute you quit fighting with her, she just pulls her head right back out.
There's Deputy Dan. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Lorraine said you can use pool noodles on each horn. She wouldn't be able to get them through then.
Yep.
Well, I thought if we tie, we've got them really hard sticks out there. Some big thick ones.
Mm-hmm.
If we tie one all the way across, she won't be able to get in there now.
That's the way Nico did one of his goats, and I was like, I'm gonna have to do
We're gonna have to, because I told you we're gonna have to do something with her, because she every single day. And we cut the grass outside the fence and inside the fence. It ain't no different. And she does it every day. She just
Well, you know
there.
the grass is always greener.
That's what they say.
But she just insists on sticking her head through there.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to cut the grass inside a pen that has, 19 now?
Yeah.
19 goats in it, occasionally 20, whenever Fancy decides to be a goat for the day.
To go? Yeah.
And they couldn't keep up with it because they're eating the outside.
Yes, they all lay around and eat put their head through and eat what's on the outside.
But she's the only one that gets stuck.
But she's not really stuck. You try to help her and she fights you. But if you walk away out of frustration, she'll slide her head out.
Yep, duct tape and 14-inch PVC pipe will stop that. I think Nico used like a broom handle or something, but I'm going to put something on there. But I got some Gorilla Tape that I'm going to put on her little horns and keep her head out of there. There's Neil. I watched Neil for a little while last night live. I was supposed to be editing while you were in there baking. I was watching Neil and Dean live for a while.
Well, while we're talking about baking, not bacon, but bacon. While we're talking about bacon.
Okay. For the third time, we're talking about bacon.
Not the pork kind. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We Matt, bring me that pen.
I got you. I'm with you.
I'm trying a new recipe.
I'm with you, Zoe.
And so instead of doing cinnamon rolls, I'm doing a savory version. And I figured I would show you guys because they're going to go in the oven while we're here with y'all. So they'll come out before we get off this live.
They're going to get to see them both ways.
I know. So that's just the end.
Oh, I was wondering why that.
It's just the end one. I can flip it over.
That one didn't have stuff in it.
It does. So I made dough and I rolled it out and I mixed soft butter, garlic, and smeared it all over. Then sprinkled it with a bunch of Parmesan and Italian blend cheese and a little bit of cheddar. Rolled it up like a cinnamon roll and sliced it. And it's going to bake. And then as soon as it gets done, you put hot butter, garlic, and a sprinkle of Parmesan on top. Because we're going to eat some spaghetti for dinner. So we're going to try. So this is what it looks like before it goes in the oven.
That looks pretty good.
That's one roll. They're pretty thick, as you can see. They're thick as the pan.
All right, hurry up and get them in the oven so we can
So
smell
now
them.
it's got to go in the oven for about 30 minutes.
Matt, put this sucker in the oven. Then it'll smell up the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to show them the finished product.
Well, make sure the oven's preheated. Check them at 25.
Okay.
That means we'll have plenty of time to show them the finished
We'll have to
product.
try one while they're hot.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Lorraine's hot water, it says cylinder. I'm assuming that may
Tank.
be like a heater.
Hot water tank.
But either way, if she spent the weekend without hot water, it exploded.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Jacob wants spaghetti now.
Well, I'm about to have spaghetti. But
Today and tomorrow.
I'm looking really well. This time of year, we have to make things that's going to last us a few days because we have football practice Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, which makes me late for everybody's live. And Kevin makes sure to let me know how late I am.
Yeah.
I even got on almost on time the other night. It was just a few minutes after they had started, and I said, I'm listening while I'm driving.
Oh, yeah.
We were pulling out of the parking lot. It was like 8:40 when
Yeah.
we left. And I was like, I'm listening while I'm driving. And I just set the phone on the console. Nothing else I could do.
I have a biscotti question.
A biscotti?
A biscotti question.
Biscotti.
So, actually, I have two now that I think about it. Are you a spaghetti mixed all up in the pot? Or are you a noodles with sauce on top?
I hope you're asking them because you know
I know yours. I want to see what they say.
You know what I say.
I'm just curious.
I saw where Kevin was talking to Jacqueline about the sheep and goat fence.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I will go like to redo these pens with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right now, field fence is what I have, and fencing is expensive.
That's right.
So right now, I'm doing field fence, and then we'll eventually redo the goat pasture, paddock, pen, whatever, with sheep and goat fencing because it will definitely stop some of that.
Mostly mixed up, a couple sauce on top. Debbie said there's a book titled "The Grass is Always Greener Over the Septic Tank."
Mm-hmm.
The author was a comedian. When our septic tank went bad and the guy came out, I asked him what signs he looked for other than the puddling. He said, "Do you see all that green grass right there?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "It's wintertime. We should not have grass that green." I said, "Okay, that makes sense."
Yep.
Mixed together in the pot with a little bit of the spaghetti water still in it. I always use spaghetti water in my sauce. So I boil my noodles and all in butter and salt. And then I have a pan over here that I cook the meat. And then I add the sauce in and I let it kind of bubble and warm and all. And then I drain the noodles, but I take a scoop of noodle water and put it in the sauce, and then I mix it all together. Except for mine, I typically put mine a little bit of noodles and a lot of sauce, and then I mix it all up for everybody.
Most everybody's mixing it. There's a few that are keeping it separate, but Kevin has to keep it separate because Kimberly does the gluten-free noodles. I didn't think about that, but I know that she has to do gluten-free.
I wonder, is there a difference?
Teresa says sauce on top because her son makes triple sauce to freeze.
Well, we typically make 2 pounds of noodles and 2 pounds of meat sauce, and then we spread it out over a day, over two to 3 meals. Chance will not eat it again after today.
Red will eat it for like 3 weeks.
Red will eat it, but Chance will not eat it after today.
Oh no, he will. He don't want to.
You give him a hard time about it, but we all know Chance is not going to eat it after the first day.
Tonight, he's fine. And I don't get it because leftover spaghetti's even better than the night you eat it.
Katie, you got what I was about to say. So the next day, we'll put it in a skillet with a little bit of butter or oil and fry it and make it a little crispy.
Mm-hmm. But I like it better no matter what after it's sat overnight.
Yeah.
But Chance, he thinks he's too good to eat leftover spaghetti. But he eats leftover everything else.
He will eat anything else, but he hates leftover spaghetti.
And I can't understand it. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know.
I just think it's better.
Lorraine's always worried the noodles will sour. So she keeps the sauce separate and freezes it.
Oh, it ain't gonna last long enough for anything to sour.
Marcy said truffle oil over the top. We have truffle oil.
We do
Ooh,
have
we
some
might
truffle
fry
oil
it
in
in
there.
that tomorrow with a little
That
drizzle.
we got that truffle oil in
Helen, Georgia.
Helen, Georgia, when we went to Dahlonega.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, when
Sure did.
Zoe
And
fell out.
died. Yeah. And came back to life.
We used to have spaghetti on a sandwiches leftovers.
Yes.
Ed, you are speaking my
Which is
language.
probably
I
what we will
eat
do.
spaghetti sandwiches.
That's probably what
Does
we will
anybody
do.
else besides me and Ed eat spaghetti sandwiches? Because Zoe just looks at me like I
No.
have a horn growing out of the middle of my head when I make a spaghetti sandwich.
No, I like them. I think the kids probably do.
You looked at
I
me
liked
weird the
them
first time I did it. I don't know if you do it.
I
now.
like it garlic bread as a sandwich.
I just buttered the bread, put the spaghetti on there, and ate it. And you looked at me like I had a horn growing out of my forehead.
Everybody's saying no way.
No on spaghetti sandwiches?
Judy does. Hey, Christina. Or Christine, you got it covered.
Ginger does the frying the leftovers.
Joni's never heard of a spaghetti sandwich.
Oh, God, it's good.
So Nick likes just plain loaf bread and with butter. And then,
Now,
like, I have done it, like, put like a grilled cheese. And you put your spaghetti in the middle and you toast it on both sides.
you see Miss Tammy. Tammy Jatina.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Frank. Yeah.
So she asked, had we ever had a boiled egg in the sauce? Do you remember where we saw that?
Where did we see that?
Wes and Angie making homemade spaghetti sauce, put a boiled egg in it.
That's right.
Now, Miss Tammy, I don't know where they got that from, but that's the first time I had seen it. But let me tell you,
she's Louisianian. That's not even a word.
Yeah, but they were.
But
it
that's
was
Cajun.
It was
So
an
that's a whole
Italian thing,
different-
I thought. But Miss Tammy just said that apparently Frank does it. Y'all, these are some people that I have known for
Oh, I was about to ask you,
20
what
years.
is it that Frank always makes?
Sausage and peppers. God, when he brought in the sausage and peppers, they actually owned the pool hall that I played in. And man, when he brought in sausage and peppers, it was going to be a good night. I was going to have indigestion, but it was going to be a good night. Oh.
Ed said Dahlonega changed to United States when gold was discovered. They all ran Indians to Oklahoma because of gold in Dahlonega.
I'm trying to catch up on, sorry. I'm catching up on comments, y'all.
See, we got on food. I don't even know.
I know, when everybody...
But you know what else I did the other day that Rhett really liked and nobody else got
See,
to try?
Jacqueline ate spaghetti sandwiches. That's all it is. Jacqueline and spaghetti and white bread.
Hey, Mom. But I took some canned biscuits. And we were not in a position to make homemade biscuits. Didn't have that much time. So I put some canned biscuits in the oven and fried some bacon. And I said, we're just going to eat some bacon egg biscuits. Well, I put my biscuits in the pan and I had one left. I bought two different kinds. I always get a butter kind and a buttermilk kind. And I took that one extra of each and I patted it out real thin. And I stuck it on that griddle where I was frying that bacon. And Rhett ate both of them.
He did.
Nobody else got to try them because he loved it. He said it was so good.
Oh, you pulled me off a piece and I thought, that's really good. And then Rhett.
Well, when I pulled his biscuits out of the oven and his biscuits weren't flat and fried like that, he wanted to know why he didn't have flat fried biscuits.
Debbie said never had it as a sandwich, but did as baked spaghetti. So baked spaghetti is
same
good
idea.
CS Nanny, I get laughed at for eating milk and buttermilk in a glass. She said later she forgot to say cornbread.
Yeah. I thought about that. So we did
I
beans.
always eat cornbread and milk.
Last night we did beans and cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was thinking about that today. I was like, we've got milk and buttermilk in the fridge. You would probably enjoy it. You could have had that as a snack.
I could have.
Of cornbread and milk.
Katie had fried bread today and put hamburgers
That
on
would
it.
be good. I could make a hamburger out of eating them fried biscuits.
Richard Maine.
Spaghetti with peanut butter sauce with Frank's Red Hot. That's a lot of flavor going in that. But
That's
I've heard peanut butter.
interesting, though.
I've heard peanut butter in red sauce.
That's interesting sounding. I don't know how I would like it. Walker's Live starting. Gonna jump in there for a minute. Well, I didn't know that the Walkers were gonna be live.
I
I
don't.
missed it.
Well, I know that.
I'll have to watch the replay of it.
I'm gonna have to get on there. Yeah. They are. And Lester. Lord mercy.
Well, I know Lester. Lester's is regularly scheduled. I'm not worried about that. Jody said your hamburgers are different to ours.
I know why. School's starting, and they always go live right before bedtime to do the heights of the kids.
I got you. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's okay. Now, Lester's is regularly scheduled.
Yeah, this is something they do every year, live,
That's no
and it's
big
probably
deal.
right before bedtime.
I don't mind that at all. We think a lot of the Walkers.
Jacqueline made sourdough rolls and loafer bread. First time to make the rolls. May try it next time to make spaghetti. I love making rolls.
I wonder if anybody have we talked about that Zoeism before?
Loafer bread?
Loafer bread. That is what Zoe calls white bread, and we've had this discussion, and I've tried to explain to Zoe that it's just people's southern way. They say loaf of bread, and it makes it sound like loaf of bread, and she is convinced that that's what it's called, loaf of bread. That's what kind of bread it is, loafer. And I was, no, Zoe, it's not. And that's what she calls it. Just like boiled shrimp or peeled shrimp. And then white bread is loaf of bread.
Yeah. I always ask for peeled shrimp, and
people just look at her.
Really like some boiled shrimp, please.
She will order peeled shrimp. She wants boiled shrimp because they just look at her like she has the horn growing out of her forehead.
White bread, yeah.
When I was a kid in the 50s, we had lard with sugar on homemade bread.
Which would be probably kind of like eating butter and sugar bread.
I guess.
I like just bread with butter.
Neil said, I see the Walkers have their big plank of wood. It has marks on it to show where their head hits when he swings it.
Kind of like that.
Ed said, the best sandwich is white bread, Duke's mayonnaise, sliced banana, and bacon. You're welcome.
Sliced banana, you're out.
I'm out.
He don't do anything banana.
I don't eat bananas at all. But I will take the Dukes and the bacon. Be just fine. Some are saying white bread, light bread. But Zoe says loafer.
Loafer.
Ed said he left out the peanut butter. You got to put the peanut butter on there.
Yeah, that would be like an Elvis Presley sandwich.
Lori's back.
She's in both the lives.
She's in both lives and only caught one bird.
I would be too if I wasn't on here with y'all. I'd be talking to them too.
I know. We're always on there live, and now we're missing it. Christine made 2 different sourdough recipes, and they were both failures. I can't help you there. I know nothing about sourdough. You'll have to talk to Zoe.
And don't talk to Zoe. Zoe don't know nothing about
Well,
sourdough.
you got that starter in there, but you haven't
sourdough.
done it yet.
I've got some Otis in there, and I still am scared to death to try it.
Eileen said, have you fried homemade bread? Talking about spaghetti sandwich, her mom used to take gravy sandwiches to work. Would take leftover gravy and 2 slices of bread. I could probably do that. Lorraine said, fried bread, then lard smeared on top. And they make fun of Southerners. Now, we probably do that, but that sounds like a heart attack waiting.
I wonder if they have flavored lard there. Like we have white regular lard, and then we have butter lard, butter flavored lard.
Em said you're here watching, so you must like it.
They were going back and forth, her and Judy.
Oh.
I like white bread, sliced tomato, and peanut butter with tomato.
I don't know if I want to do the peanut butter on the tomatoes. I don't know about that.
No, I like peanut butter with cinnamon sugar on it.
Marcy said peanut butter, white bread, and tomatoes sounds gross, but it's excellent.
I'll have to try it because I like all those things.
Richard said there used to be a pair of shoes called loafers.
They had little tassels on them.
But
They had little tassels.
You eat loafer bread.
My mama wore them.
Mr. Jim says, sorry I'm late. I'll turn my report in ASAP.
Okay.
Jody said tomato and onion sandwich. That I have done.
I would like that.
I have done tomato and onion.
I like raw onions. Look up cowboy sourdough. At least it takes less than 24 hours to use it, and it's done. Just make as needed. Oh, cowboy sourdough. Remind me to do that.
Ginger said, tried to check on the walkers, but only came on her phone on YouTube, and there was no way to make a comment.
Huh. Make sure you're subscribed to them. Cassie said hello.
Donna says peanut butter on her hot dogs.
Yeah.
And Judy said, Zoe, you're pretty smart.
I
What's wrong
know.
with Judy?
I'm trying to teach my husband that.
What's wrong with Judy?
She's on my side.
Oh. So she's just blindly supporting you no matter what.
She likes when I kill the flies on your head.
She does tell you I have flies on my head. Cheese and onion sandwiches. Why are we only talking about food? Change the subject. Talk about our... Well, we can't talk about our video because we went to eat
food. So we did. Oh, hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
We did find a use for our tricycle other than at the farm. We went on a little adventure with Miss Catherine. And that was so much fun.
Judy said, are you going to pay her now?
You don't pay your friends.
You have to pay her for saying you were smart.
Oh.
You don't y'all have an agreement.
She said we wore penny loafers in the 50s.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just reading. She said that she's been subscribed to the Walkers for a long time. Well, sometimes.
We've been subscribed to them for a long time.
But sometimes you can get kicked off and not realize it.
Joni said, did you explain what a field fence is? I guess I did not. I must have missed that. I'm sorry. The sheep and goat wires is smaller squares. So this is 4x4. Is that what that is? It's 4x4 squares. So
over here.
Yeah, camera over here. So it's about like that. So she squeezes her little head in there, and her horns are angled backwards, and then she gets them through and she can't get them back. But it's just field fence is just welded wire. Then it's very similar to the sheep and goat fence, but the sheep and goat fence I think is like 2x4. I don't remember, but whatever, it's smaller.
Right. Mm-hmm. But
it's heavy gauge wire.
Yeah.
And it's very substantial, but it holds up just fine. But they can still squeeze their little heads in there.
Yeah, but we don't have that problem very often
What?
with them getting their heads
Just
stuck.
mocha.
Just mocha.
Just that
all
wood.
the time. All the time.
I see. I don't know what Jody and Lorraine were talking about. I don't know, but it don't matter. They can go ahead.
Yeah. They can talk about
I don't care how many conversations happen in the comment boxes. They can
mustard and onion
talk about whatever they
sandwich.
like. Joni, I hope that made sense. That's the best way I know to describe it. I hope she's growing peanuts.
Oh, that's right. I saw that. I think, does Miss Sue grow peanuts?
I think Sue does grow
Or
peanuts.
she's
Or
always
did,
trying to get us
or
to grow
used to.
peanuts. And how to grow them. Sounds like what hog fence?
I don't know what hog fence is, but
It does
maybe.
sound. It sounds like that sounds like hog fence.
Yes, Sue grow.
Yeah.
Go ahead and finish talking about your video. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know. But we rode our
That
little.
is sore.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We rode our little bikes, and I thought that was so much fun. And it's pretty neat how fast they'll go on the road. Like, I was not expecting them to go as fast on the road as they did.
Oh, Anita said sound like what we call hog fence.
Oh, yeah.
So hog fence is not quite as heavy wire.
Hog fence also has, the bottom of it has.
That's only our panels, baby. Hog fence is that thinner gauge wire fence that we had at the gate, and then we bought that used fence from that guy. That's hog fence. It's just not as heavy a wire as field fence or welded wire.
Tammy said, I love when Nick said, "Are you serious, Zoe?" She said, "Yeah, Nick, I think she is." Lorraine said, "I'll ride it all the way to Catherine's or just up her driveway." Well, I rode it just up her driveway because I don't have a helmet. Nick followed us in the with a trailer, and we rode it down the road a piece, and then we picked them up and put them on the trailer and went on down. And she's what, 5 miles? She's about the same distance.
Yeah,
as
her and Jason and Brooke are both about 5 miles. It's just kind of fanned like this.
Yeah.
Jason and Brooke one way, Catherine the other.
Yeah. So it was. I could have done it. I think it would have went just fine. I just didn't have a helmet, and I was kind of worried.
Yeah.
I got kind of worried. Me and Catherine both were like, I don't know about it. But I don't think we passed but one car.
That's it. Jim said it would have been funny if you and Catherine got pulled over for speeding.
I know.
Ed said he ain't pedaling nothing nowadays. Well, Zoe
I pedaled once.
pedals a little bit to get hers started. Catherine just takes off and dead stop, but they're electric.
Yep.
Judy said you're cheaters.
We are. I am, Susan. I have been taking my iron. I'm not lying.
I honestly don't know if you have or not. But I hope you have, but I honestly don't know.
She did guess that.
Well,
but I did drive. I mean, we did ride it down the road some.
Well, I don't know. We had some question about how YouTube would handle that, y'all. So, just to be completely transparent, our original plan was for Zoe and Catherine to ride them all the way from Catherine's house to Flying Peach, which is just a couple miles.
Right.
We wouldn't have gone from our farm to Catherine's because there are 2 extremely busy roads that you have to travel on.
Right.
But we weren't sure, number 1, of the legalities, and number 2, how YouTube was going to take that, and we don't want to go back to jail. So, Judy said, here I was so proud of you thinking you rode your bike all the way there. We
really thought about it.
because we did not want to end up in trouble. Now, the like I said, the original plan was to ride them from Catherine's house to Flying Peach. But again, it came up as we're not real sure how they're going to handle this.
Yeah.
So, y'all, I can tell you because it's not on video. So I can tell you all about it. Or actually, it is on video. I just took it out. There were 2 clips of Rhett riding Zoe's bicycle at the farm, and he was laughing so hard. Y'all would have loved it. But I know they would have put me back in YouTube jail for it.
Yeah.
But he was riding Zoe's bicycle, and he can't reach the pedals. He just puts his feet on that middle bar
up on it
and mashes that button. And he was laughing so hysterically. I was getting tickled. And then I was like, I can't even leave that in there. I have to take it out of the video.
Are they done? Go ahead.
Y'all want to see the finished product?
Hold on. Go ahead and that bowl. Rub that all over the top.
Are you going? Should you let them see it before you smear it in that stuff?
Okay. Bring it to me.
Yeah.
Man, it smells good now that it's
Heck yeah, it does. Charles and Kathy Hobbs want to know if you like the high handlebars. I had 3 different people get on to me about the adjustment of your handlebars, and I said, y'all, that's where she says she's comfortable. And until she tells me different, I'll leave.
So actually, I do, because if they're low, I end up squatted over, and it makes my back hurt. So having a little higher, it kind of forces me to sit up straight, but it doesn't hurt my back as bad.
I think it might have been Christine that said you didn't look comfortable, and I said, well, I'm leaving them there until she tells me to move.
I have some issues with my back sometimes. So having them, look at that. So having it high like that is actually better for me. That looks really good. Okay, so go put the spread that all over it, and then sprinkle Parmesan on top, and then bring it back.
Londa said that Catherine should have put on the Littlefoot suit, and Zoe, you could have gotten like a purple unicorn.
Oh, I would. You know what? One of those blow up ones that would have been. My mama has a biker woman that is a blow up one that wears a bikini and has tattoos. I could have wore that.
Y'all talked about it, but she said it was too hot for Littlefoot to make an appearance.
Yeah, it had gotten. We did it in the hottest part of the day.
Pretty warm.
And we didn't.
Lori would like for you to ride the bike to the auction.
Okay.
You have to stop and charge a couple of times, probably.
Well, it'd be like having an electric vehicle, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Christine said it was her.
Yeah.
So she was asking about the handlebars.
And it makes sense. I did notice, we were comparing ours with Catherine's, and there was a few different things like suspension and all that were different. And the height of her handlebars was a little lower than mine. But I was
shorter than you.
Right. And so I was thinking about it while I was looking at it. I was like, if my handlebars weren't up here, they would be down here. So I would feel the need to kind of lean over more, and it would make my back hurt more. So I could sit up with mine now.
Christine had said they looked like they were a little high. And I just said, well, I'm just adjusting them to the individual, But somebody had said something about they were too close, and I had to ask, too close to what?
Like this.
Maybe back?
Now, if they had been up, then
you'd be leaning forward.
I wouldn't want. Then it would probably have to be lower, because then
you would be leaning.
Yeah,
like
I needed them leaned back and up.
So, just to answer that question, I just put them where Zoe would like to have them.
Yep.
Well, there's Nico or Natalie, maybe both.
I'm sure it's.
Hey,
Mr.
Nick,
Nico.
Zoe, and everyone just passing through. Hope everyone has a great week. They've got another video out I've got to catch up to. But hello, Brown family. Good to see y'all on here as always.
Christine said, do I lean into the steering wheel when I drive? I do not. I sit back and I try to sit straight if I can.
You sit kind of like you're doing that bicycle.
I do. My back can't handle the slouch. You see me a lot on here. I'll sit up and adjust because my back hurts.
Showing up, Londa says, showing up VR in costumes in a heat stroke fit.
Yeah.
It rolled up on me. I didn't get to see the last part. They worry me.
Can we put it back in like the cheese melt?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, for just like 2 minutes or so.
She done smeared that sucker in some herb butter and put more cheese on top of it.
I need a helmet with goat horns and a long white scarf.
Yes, you do.
Why?
As a matter of fact, you do.
Why?
Because I can picture that.
And a long white scarf?
Yeah, like the Red Baron. Scarf blowing in the wind and horns on you. Yes, absolutely. Yep. There was I can't remember the guy's name. Golly.
My daddy
It was
had
it was a biker guy that was in the movie, and I think the name of the movie was Any Which Way But Loose. But I think one of the bikers had like a long scarf behind him, and I bet Mr. Jim remembers what I'm talking about.
My daddy had a half helmet, a skull helmet for the bike, and it had brains airbrushed on it and had little devil horns on top that he glued on it.
Well, right
That's what it made me think of when he said goat horns.
Well, Ed is going shampoo some carpet.
Well, it's a good time to do it.
See,
so he can
Ed?
try all night. Terry fell asleep in the chair. She's having a hard time staying awake today, so if you don't mind, she's going to bed. Go right on
good
to bed.
night, Terry. If we weren't on this live, Zoe would be right with you.
Well, not right with you, but I would fall asleep in my
That's what
chair.
I mean.
Yeah. Sue said she remembers that. Now I'm waiting on this bread. Smells good in here.
Yes, it does. We need to. What else was in the video besides just going flying?
We got our lawnmower fixed. We have not had our lawnmower all season. We had finally found time to take it.
Look
and
at
get repaired.
Catherine coming in so late.
She's still tired from our
Catherine, we've been talking about you. Oh my gosh.
Londa said crash helmet with a big yellow mohawk down the center. Very popular here in Daytona for Bike Week. Yes.
I was actually pleasantly surprised when I got under there and saw how much blade you had left us this time.
I was proud of myself.
Y'all, I was not making it up. When I say the last time I changed the blades, they were about that long. All three of them. She broke all three. And we don't know how. Or she said she don't know how. I don't know.
It smells good.
Oh my gosh. We need to try one. Okay, bring me that one on a plate.
Okay.
Lorraine said I'm going to have a nana nap after the live. Was up early moving stuff around for the plumber.
What is a nana nap?
I'm not sure.
Like a
But
quick nap?
You would take one. Uh-oh. Catherine was feeding the phones and got another call.
She's been getting lots of
Sue said there was the biker gang that was always after Philo Beto. And that was the character that Clint Eastwood played in that movie. It's a pretty good movie, by the way.
nap during the day.
During
It's
the
a
day.
nana nap. Nana nap.
That'll work.
What kind of rolls are those? They are Parmesan, garlic, herb.
Yeah, just yeast rolls.
Yeah.
What?
Zoe, you can't eat one in front of these people.
Gosh.
You can't do that.
Feel how soft.
I
Oh
don't
my
want
gosh,
to.
that is the softest roll I've ever made. Feel it.
That is pretty soft.
Wow.
You can't eat that in front of folks.
Watch.
Catherine says she wants some.
Just close your eyes then. Oh my gosh, Nick. I ain't even trying the good stuff.
That is so wrong.
Look.
I'm glad Tony ain't on here. I bet he ate cereal since she's been out feeding them pawns.
Tony too would like one of
Tony,
these.
he too
Yeah.
likes yeast rolls with garlic herb butter.
Oh, y'all.
Oh wow, that's so good.
You can't even see, but
It's sucker still steaming.
yes.
That thing is so good.
Wow.
Londa says she just slobbered all over the place.
Me too.
Lorraine said, "Where's Tony? He too would like a roll."
She said she made a big supper for him.
He got 2 bowls of cereal.
Oh man, this is
Oh,
good.
Tammy said I explained why we let that field grow up and all that
Okay.
garbagey looking vines and stuff. But yeah, we did do that intentionally. I know somebody was going to ask, why'd you let it get out of hand? Well, because we had to.
You just keep on over there.
Catherine said he may or may not be snoring.
He is.
Joni said, post the recipe, please.
Okay, I will. I'll probably do a video
You
on
need
that.
to start doing that stuff on the website.
I
People
do.
ask for recipes all the time, and we still don't get them on there.
I do. I can make a video and post the recipe because I'm doing this again.
Linda Carroll said, just found a new favorite. A new favorite what? Recipe? W. Washington wants the recipe. Christine said, yes, please.
That is really good.
People ask about recipes all the time, and I said we were going to get them on the website, and then we didn't get it updated. So we've got to get that stuff on there. We really do, because I wasn't lying when I said we're going to put it on the website, and then we didn't get it done. Judy said Tony's on his way over here. Not if Tony's snoring. He don't even know what's going on. Bacon, onion, cheese rolls.
I'm betting it's probably around the same idea. That sounds
Sure does
good.
sound good, and hers throws bacon in there. But that's really good. Garlic and herbs and I don't know what all else
And
for
it's
cheese.
super
That's good.
soft.
Make recipe cards and hand out at the meet and greet.
How about it? That's a good idea.
You could do that.
That's a good idea.
But a lot of people are too far away to get to the meet and greet. We need to put it on the website.
Jacqueline's terrible about recipes. She never follows them. People ask, what did I do? I just have to list the ingredients. I'm the same way. That's kind of how that's how it's always been.
And sadly, you're supposed to follow a baking recipe to a T.
Yeah.
And you seldom do.
Yeah. Like flavor wise. Like I'll put
not the flour and stuff, but you're supposed to follow it to a T.
And I don't ever.
No. See, Donna lives in Delaware, so she can't come to the meet and greet and get recipe cards. You're going to have to put them on the website. I have told people before when they ask for your recipes that that's what we would do. And we just have not made it happen yet. I feel bad about that.
Look at Catherine making my head swell.
Lorraine said, looks so good, no point in me making them. My brother eats nothing interesting.
Bless it.
I live in his house and can't make it just for me.
Sure you can. Because you can. I'm going to keep eating them now. That's why you can wrap them and freeze them.
Jacqueline said, that's why you don't bake. Well, that's what Zoe likes is baking. She likes to bake, but she don't follow.
That's why you don't bake.
Oh, why? They don't know that I can outbake you.
But you don't.
I do not. Every once in a while. Zoe still hasn't taught me into making her a cheesecake, which I've got to do. But yeah, I can bake. I just don't.
I like his cooking a lot more than I like mine.
I like Zoe's baking, especially when it tastes like that. I'll take it.
Ooh.
Loretta is eating peanut butter crackers, trying to imagine that they're the deliciousness that y'all are enjoying, but it's not working.
Now, I like peanut butter crackers, Loretta. I love me some peanut butter crackers.
Susan will not be there this time. She'll be
man.
waiting for a baby to arrive.
Judy said, what is a friend? You have to say it out loud, friend.
Londa said they did recipe Christmas cards last year.
Oh, that's cool.
Like you send your card and favorite recipe to other people, and they got a bunch of new ones to try.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, she was just being a smart aleck. We understand that language.
Connie said I need to download the app for plants and weeds.
Picture this.
I take photos all the time, scared of poison, things like poison ivy, and your vines, you will know it's free.
We need to do that.
I have one of those apps on my phone, and there was something I was curious about one time, and we took the picture. I think you were with me, and you did it on your phone. There was something we were trying to look up, and we took the picture, and it told me something that I knew for 100% certain that it was not. And then you did it, and you got the same answer. And I said, well, Zoe, that's not it. That's not what that is.
Yeah.
And we knew it wasn't, but I can't remember what that was. It was wild. Must be a food week. Brooke made some pepper jelly. Now you're making rolls. Well, Zoe just made the rolls for our dinner.
Actually, I sent you a picture of it yesterday. I was like, I really want to try this recipe.
You did?
Because I want to try and sell some. Sorry. This is rude.
Is that what this is?
What?
Jacqueline said, I tell my husband his cooking tastes better. He thinks it's a compliment. It's really manipulation.
No.
Have you even got the kids trying to manipulate me?
No, dear. We love your cooking.
I don't think Rhett would make it up.
No, Rhett would tell you.
Rhett
Rhett would let you know.
Rhett says,
really.
can Daddy please cook?
Mm-hmm. If y'all don't know,
Catherine has got homemade bread rising right now.
if y'all don't know, when your husband cooks, it's actually a lot more work because he'll go out the door and he opens the door. Hand me such
Zoe.
Hand me
Zoe.
such and such. Hand me.
Now you're getting stuff off the internet, but you know I do more than grill.
Yeah. Sometimes.
I'm not anymore.
Oh, look, a squirrel. Tammy said she had a hard time teaching her boys to cook because she don't measure anything. I'm the same way. I'll tell Mackenzie, I don't know, just put it until it looks right.
Now, that's not a bad idea. Lorraine said they have a Facebook group where they upload a photo of a plant and people on there identify it. There's a lot of people around here that do that with snakes.
Yeah, snakes. Mm.
But I could do that with plants. Somebody would tell me what it was. But I haven't.
I'm sure there's a plant identifier.
I don't know what it is because I haven't tried to find out.
Right.
I just
We
don't
just know it's
automatically know.
invasive.
I just know I mow it down, whatever.
Yeah, because it'll take over.
And I know it pops up when you've over-tilled.
Just gonna sit on over here and eat this roll that you want to eat.
I want to get back to this thing where you fell into the trap on the internet where the husband just grills the meat and drinks beer at the cooler, and I don't even drink beer. And then you have to do all the sides and prep and everything. I want to get back to that.
Oh, you need me to clarify to everybody that you don't do that. He does not do that. He has all the sides fixed.
I do all the prep, everything.
You do. The only thing that he leaves is dishes.
Now that I do. But that's why we have Mackenzie. We have a dishwasher.
Uh-huh. Everybody uses picture this. Maybe it was just something that had a pretty common shape.
Catherine says coffee bean weed. Maybe. I don't know. It is called, what plant is that? Australia.
Yeah.
Probably something like that. Carol Kruger. I was talking to my son who lives in Iowa. She was like, well, that's okay, Carol.
We're not
we
even going to read Miss Sue's comment. We're just going to let that one sit right there and scroll on.
Oh, Sue Slaughter. I see what it is.
Y'all, I'm telling you, watching Brandon's video with that snake he found, I about crawled out of my skin.
I texted him while you were. Did I text him or was he on a live? I can't remember. I can't remember if he was on a live or if I texted him when it happened.
It don't matter.
I think I might have texted. Anyway, Zoe's watching this video, and y'all, if you don't know, Brandon is definitely afraid of snakes, but not as bad as Zoe. Zoe's way worse.
The only thing is Brandon sees them more than I do.
Yeah. But when he when he showed the close up and that snake had its mouth open, Zoe was screaming bloody murder in our living room. I mean, horrible. And this is on TV. It's not in her lap. It's on TV. And she just had a come apart. Well, then when he killed the snake, and
No, it was still moving.
he was cutting an egg out of it, and it kept crawling on the back of the truck. I thought I was going to have to shoot her with a tranquilizer dart.
Look, my anxiety is going up right now thinking about it. Like I just got shaky all of a sudden.
It's on TV. It wasn't even here. But when he cut that egg out of it and that thing went to moving, Zoe lost it.
Oh man, look. Do CPR and you'll see. Feel.
Zoe, you don't need CPR yet, darling.
My heart is racing.
But you don't need CPR yet.
Whew.
Sue said $10,000 first place, biggest and most. 20 feet long. Golly. Catherine said Tony ate her chocolate cobbler after she went to bed.
I still have banana pudding in there and I didn't tell Rhett what was in it. It would have been gone.
Now, Jacqueline watched her cat and a little rat snake fight, and she did not video it. That's the kind of stuff you have to make sure you get.
Oh my gosh, I would have died. My little kitten's out there trying to.
Oh, I know.
Lorraine said the muscles still move for ages.
Oh,
They
they
hang
do.
them on the they're probably still moving right now.
So it was dying.
Yo. Tammy said some of the best chefs are in the world are men. They ain't poisonous no more.
I'm not saying that Zoe doesn't cook. I'm saying that I tend to be a little more creative. But I've had a lot of time spent working in restaurants in my younger years.
All them years before I was born.
Zoe learned to cook after we got together. And if y'all think I'm lying, make her tell you the truth.
I didn't cook.
Zoe makes the best cornbread on the planet, and I'm the one who taught her how to do it. And I think hers is probably better than mine now. But Zoe, y'all have heard this story before. Zoe was going to make me cornbread and brought out that blue and white box. And I said, I'm not eating that.
Yeah.
Lorraine only likes cooking desserts or cakes. She hates cooking meals.
Now that's how I am. I will cook a meal, but I don't enjoy it. It's a chore to me.
See, I actually enjoy it, so there's a difference between me and Zoe. But I typically, and that's not negative. I just don't have a lot of time to. A lot of the times, Mac is doing a lot of the cooking at this time of year because we're at football practice or trying to get done at the farm or stuff like that. Or like on this live.
She's been cooking spaghetti.
She's been doing the spaghetti while we're on the live. So
Right.
Mackenzie has to help with a lot of that this time of year. But to Zoe, she will bake for fun.
Yes.
But cooking savory food is just
A
to
chore.
check off the list.
Yeah, that's a chore.
Something she has to do.
Mhm.
And that's why the kids will ask me to cook because I like doing it.
Well, you
I just
can
don't have a lot
taste
of
that
time.
yours is enjoyed, like because you take time to make flavors and do.
But then I have to edit and all that kind of stuff.
Read Londa's, it's right there.
Londa said we were sitting in the backyard and a rat snake fell out of the tree about 5 feet away. The dog got to it before we could even move. And that sounds like something Zoe would say. Great googly moogly.
Yes.
Had a Bill Dance moment there and was looking for a way to bail out of the yard. I need to show Zoe that video of that snake falling out of the tree in his lap.
No, why would
She
you
would-
do that?
She would love it.
No.
Sue said, I love cooking and baking, but I hate dishes, so I eat out a lot.
Yeah.
And Catherine said, can Mac move in with us?
No. Sorry.
Mr. Jim said, Dad taught Mom to make biscuits. He said the first time she made them, they turned out like Ritz crackers. I taught you how to make biscuits.
Uh-huh.
And I
And
taught
I've
you
messed
how to
them up a few times.
I taught you how to make cornbread. But we're gonna have to block Grammy.
Why? What did Grammy say?
Does Zoe know you can make tiramisu?
I would know.
Zoe
I
didn't
don't
took
even
us
know.
down.
I don't even know if he really can make cheesecake.
Good night, Jacqueline. She's going to bed. It's
We
time for us
are.
to eat
Yeah,
supper.
we'll say we're long-winded.
And Londa said Catherine she needs to share custody too.
Mackenzie said, does she get the option? Somebody asked, do you like to cook? She enjoys cooking.
She's not good at it.
She likes to bake too.
You have to leave specific directions.
Yeah.
She's just learning.
She's learning. Yeah.
She's just learning. But her mama had to learn too.
Just a lot later in life. I used to make vegetable casserole with veg-all.
Well, Deb said, howdy from Tucson, Arizona.
You don't have to talk like that. People might like veg-all.
Don't do I can have a personal preference to not like veg-all.
Not on YouTube. You can't have personal preference.
Yes, you can. We're not talking politics here. We're talking veg-all. And veg-all, ugh. Just like Jiffy cornbread mixes. Ugh. Connie said, my husband cooked in our house. He said at 13 he made donuts would take bark off a tree.
Ooh. Oh, gosh. Judy had 13 brothers and sisters.
Cheryl said, great-grandmother taught me at a young age, and other grandmother taught me how to bake. Great-grandmother also taught me specialty desserts from the old country. I bet that was...
Okay, so everybody's agreeing with you. Veg-all is yuck. Carol said, what is veg-all? It's a bunch of...
You don't want to know, Carol.
It's kind of like diced up cubes of stuff that's supposed to be vegetables. I think it's
carrots and peas and
maybe potatoes. I'm not green beans or something in a can.
It's not good. All right, Zoe, can we wrap up so we can go eat?
Now we gotta go eat our rolls.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited.
You just ate one in front of these people.
That was a taste test.
You made them watch.
I was working. I was working. That was my job. All right. We'll see y'all on, what is today? Sunday? On Wednesday.
Today's Sunday.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.